I'm about to show you a psychological trick so powerful that car salesmen use it to sell you cars you don't need, politicians use it to win your vote, and advertisers use it to make you buy products you don't want. But here's the thing. Once you know these tricks, you can use them too. Or better yet, you'll never fall for them again. Let's dive in. Welcome to Psych Insights. I'm going to show you 10 psychological tricks that are backed by research and used by everyone from Fortune 500 CEOs to your neighbor trying to convince you to help them move. These aren't manipulative tactics. They're understanding how the human brain actually works. And once you understand them, your relationships, your career, and even your arguments will never be the same. Let's start with the most powerful one. Trick number 1. The Ben Franklin effect. Here's a counterintuitive truth. If you want someone to like you, don't do them a favor. Ask them for one. Ben Franklin discovered this 300 years ago. He had a rival in the Pennsylvania legislature who hated him. Instead of trying to win him over with gifts, Franklin asked to borrow a rare book from the man's personal library. The rival lent it to him. Franklin returned it with a thank you note, and suddenly, they became friends. Why does this work? Cognitive dissonance. When someone does you a favor, their brain thinks, I wouldn't help someone I dislike, so I must actually like this person. A study at Stanford confirmed this. People who were asked for small favors rated the requester as more likable than those who were given favors. Use this at work. Ask a difficult coworker for their opinion on something. Ask your boss for advice. You're not manipulating them. You're giving their brain permission to like you. Trick number 2. The door-in-the-face technique. Want someone to say yes? Start by asking for something ridiculous. A researcher named Robert Cialdini tested this by asking college students to volunteer for 2 hours per week for 2 years at a youth detention center. Everyone said no. Then he asked if they'd volunteer for just one afternoon. 50% said yes. When he asked the second group only for the one afternoon without the big request first, only 17% agreed. This works because of the contrast principle. After you refuse the big ask, the smaller request feels tiny. Salesmen do this constantly. This car is $50,000. Too much? How about this one at $30,000? Suddenly, $30,000 feels like a bargain. Use this when negotiating. Ask for more than you want first. When they say no, your real ask seems reasonable. Trick number 3. The Zeigarnik effect. Your brain hates unfinished business. In the 1920s, psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik noticed that waiters could remember complex orders perfectly until the order was served. Then they forgot everything. She tested this in her lab. People remembered incomplete tasks 68% better than completed ones. This is why cliffhangers work, why you can't stop watching Netflix, why you obsess over unanswered texts. Your brain creates tension around unfinished things. Netflix literally weaponized this. Their engineers designed autoplay and one more episode prompts specifically to exploit the Zeigarnik effect. Use this for productivity. Start a task even if you can't finish it. Your brain will keep working on it in the background. Use it in presentations. End on a cliffhanger. Leave people wanting more. They'll remember you better than if you'd neatly wrapped everything up. Trick number 4. Mirroring. When you subtly copy someone's body language, they unconsciously like you more. Cross your arms when they cross theirs. Lean back when they lean back. Match their speaking speed and tone. Researchers at Stanford found that people who were mirrored rated conversations as more pleasant and felt the other person understood them better, even though they had no idea mirroring was happening. But here's the key. Subtle. If you copy every move like a mime, it's creepy. Wait 3 to 5 seconds. Mirror their energy level. If they're calm, be calm. If they're excited, match that energy. Salespeople, therapists, and negotiators use this constantly. FBI hostage negotiators are trained in mirroring because it builds unconscious rapport. Use it in job interviews. Mirror your interviewer's posture. Use it on first dates. You'll seem more compatible without either of you knowing why. Trick number 5. The foot in the door technique. This is the opposite of door in the face. Start small, then go big. In a famous study, researchers asked homeowners to put a tiny 3-inch sign in their window supporting safe driving. 2 weeks later, they asked if they'd put a massive, ugly billboard in their front yard. 76% said yes. When they asked a control group only for the billboard, only 17% agreed. Why? Commitment and consistency. Once you say yes to something small, your brain labels you as someone who supports this cause. Saying no to the bigger request would contradict that identity. Gyms use this. Just try a free day pass. Then they sell you the membership. Charities use this. Just sign this petition. Then they ask for donations. Use this ethically. If you want someone to commit to something big, get them to commit to something tiny first. Want your kids to clean their room? Start by asking them to pick up one toy. Want your team to adopt a new process? Start with one small change. Trick number 6, the scarcity principle. People want what they can't have. Robert Cialdini did a study with chocolate chip cookies. When there were 10 cookies in a jar, people rated them as okay. When there were only 2 cookies, people rated the exact same cookies as significantly better. Limited availability makes things more desirable. This is why Black Friday works. Only 5 left in stock. Why sneaker drops sell out in seconds. Why exclusive memberships exist. Your brain equates scarcity with value, even if the scarcity is artificial. But here's the twist. Scarcity works even when people know it's fake. Disney does this with the Disney Vault. They artificially limit movies, re-release them, and people buy them even though they know Disney is manipulating them. Use this in business. Limited spots available. In relationships. Don't always be available. Mystery and scarcity increase perceived value. But don't overdo it, or you'll just seem flaky. Trick number 7. The anchoring effect. The first number you hear becomes the reference point for everything that follows. In a study, people were shown a bottle of wine. One group was told it cost $10. Another group was told it cost $90. Then both groups tasted the exact same wine. The group that thought it was $90 rated it as significantly better. Real estate agents do this. They show you an overpriced house first. Suddenly, the second house seems like a steal. Retailers do this with original price tags, $200 marked down to $99. You focus on the discount, not the actual value. Use this in negotiations. Be the first to name a number and make it high. Studies show that whoever sets the anchor usually wins the negotiation. Use it in pricing. Show your premium option first. Everything else looks more affordable. Trick number 8. The Pratfall effect. Perfect people are less likable than people who make small mistakes. In a study, researchers had actors answer quiz questions. One actor answered everything perfectly. Another answered most questions correctly, but spilled coffee on himself. People rated the imperfect actor as more likable. Why? Because perfection is intimidating and unrelatable. Flaws make you human. This is why politicians tell embarrassing stories, why influencers share authentic moments, why the most popular brands admit their weaknesses. Volkswagen ran ads in the 1960s saying, "Think small," and admitting their car was ugly. It worked. But here's the catch. This only works if you're already competent. If you're seen as incompetent, mistakes just confirm that. Use this by admitting small flaws. In job interviews, mention a minor weakness you've overcome. In presentations, acknowledge limitations. In relationships, don't pretend to be perfect. Vulnerability builds trust. Trick number 9. The Pygmalion effect. Your expectations shape reality. In a famous study, teachers were told that certain students were late bloomers who would improve dramatically. The students were actually chosen at random. By the end of the year, those students actually performed better. Why? Because the teachers expected more, so they gave them more attention, encouragement, and opportunities. This works on yourself too. Studies show that when you expect to succeed, you try harder, persist longer, and interpret setbacks as temporary. This is why positive self-talk isn't just feel-good nonsense. It literally changes your behavior. Use this on others. Expect the best from people and they'll rise to meet it. Use it on yourself. Stop saying, "I'm bad at this." Your brain believes you. Trick number 10, the reciprocity rule. When someone gives you something, you feel obligated to give back, even if you didn't want it. Researchers sent Christmas cards to random strangers. Most sent cards back, even though they'd never met the sender. Hotels increased towel reuse by 33% just by adding a note saying most guests reuse their towels. This is the most powerful persuasion tool that exists. Free samples at grocery stores, free trials for software, politicians doing small favors. They're all triggering reciprocity. You feel like you owe them. Use this ethically. Give value first. Help people without expecting anything. Eventually, they'll want to return the favor. But if you keep score, it backbrows. Real reciprocity is about building relationships, not manipulation. So there you have it. 10 psychological tricks that always work. The Ben Franklin effect, door in the face, the Zeigarnik effect, mirroring, foot in the door, scarcity, anchoring, the Pratfall effect, the Pygmalion effect, and reciprocity. These aren't magic spells. They're just understanding how your brain and other people's brains actually work. Now here's my question for you. Which trick surprised you the most? Which one will you try this week? Let me know in the comments. If you want more psychology that actually works in real life, subscribe to Psych Insights. New videos every week. Now you know the tricks. Use them wisely.